Jennifer Garner tells all. Have there been times when you feel like you just can't connect anymore? Her secret to looking so good in her 40s.
You're never gonna guess.
We'll save lives today. You guys ready to get healthy? Today, a show I cannot wait for. Jennifer Garner is here. Give it up for her. Now, she's been at the center of a personal drama this past year, but she has stayed focused on her kids and her career. And now, one of the most famous mothers in Hollywood has taken on a very fitting role as a mom in her new movie, Miracles from Heaven. And Jennifer reveals why she took on her first starring role in years and how this movie changed her life. Then I want you to meet the real-life young girl Jennifer's movie is based on and her amazing story of a visit to heaven. And real, candid talk with my good friend William Shatner and his secrets to a healthy life. But first, we begin with one of Hollywood's brightest stars, Jennifer Garner. How her faith helped her through stressful times in her life. And what's her secret to looking so darn good in her 40s. With her trademark dimples and all-American smile, Jennifer Garner has stood out for years as Hollywood's A-list golden girl. After breaking out 14 years ago as double agent Sydney Bristow in the hit show Alias, Jennifer went on to give acclaimed performances in the Oscar-nominated films Juno and Dallas Buyers. Please welcome Jennifer Garner. You look wonderful.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, they love you for a lot of reasons. We'll talk about some of them in a moment, but one of the reasons they love you is they saw your movie last night. Everyone in the audience saw the movie. Y'all like it?
Good.
It's fantastic.
Oh, good.
So, Miracles from Heaven, and just
Yes,
to get
sir.
everyone on the same page on this, this is a remarkable, mysterious medical case that happened in real life to a little girl in Texas. So, give everyone the quick summary.
Okay, well, first of all, thanks you guys for seeing the movie. That's so special to me. But this is a real life story that Christy Beam documented in her book, Miracles from Heaven, about her daughter, Annabelle, who became, Christy had this gut instinct that things were not right and that doctors weren't going deep enough when they were looking for something. And we follow her illness and her mother's advocacy for her daughter, Annabelle. And then there's a miracle, the strangest miracle that when I first heard about it, and I think everybody, you kind of say, wait, what? Yeah. Wait, that took a turn I wasn't expecting. But there is something really beautiful in the story about the purity of the faith of a little girl and the ride of faith that the mother goes on.
A lot of the movies revolved around this concept of spirituality and faith. And there is in America a little bit of a battle about the role of spirituality and faith, and particularly when it comes to your physical health. How does that manifest in your life? How important are those to you, faith and spirituality?
I think they're just lucky for me. They were instilled in me when I was so young. My parents did such a great job of raising my sisters and me in a world where faith was part of our lives. We went to church every single week. We were not ever guilted. Nobody talked about hell in our house. It wasn't a dark thing ever. It was only something positive. And our church was and is, for my parents and my little sister's family who are still going to the same church in Charleston, West Virginia, it's the center of our social lives as well as, a spiritual center.
So the character you play, Annabelle's mom, loses her faith at a point in the movie. She actually looks up, she can't hear God anymore. Have there been times in your life, dark times, when you feel like you just can't connect anymore?
I haven't gone through anything as traumatic as Christy Beam. I mean, I have to say that hasn't happened to me, but I have not seen my child suffer in that way. And so I can't say that I have been there. I love that we address that in the film, and I respect Christy for opening up, although maybe you'll have to talk to her about it. Perhaps the film takes more license than she would be comfortable with in that area, because she's such a person of faith. Yeah. But I think that is it's an important part of any conversation about religion. We should be able to push and pull at it and question it, and that's part of who we are.
So, the big question I get asked all the time is whether I believe in miracles. Do you?
And?
I do. But for me, miracles aren't the big things. You touch on this as well. It's the small things. It's people doing things for each other out of love. And it sneaks up on you. You don't even realize that it's happening. But does Jennifer Garner believe in miracles?
Absolutely. Absolutely, positively, 100%. I love the message of this movie around miracles, that you can either see, it's Einstein's quote that I borrowed from the movie, and now I'll borrow it here, but you can either see nothing as a miracle or everything as a miracle. And if you don't see happiness in small things, I immediately came out here and thought, ooh, I love those flowers. Those are beautiful. But if you don't, then if you're waiting for the big thing to happen, if you're waiting for someone else to make you happy, you just will miss out on the joy that's all around you in your life. So you might as well take joy in any way that you can get it and see it all as a miracle. Why not? What do you get from being cynical?
Nothing. Pain,
nothing.
Suffering.
Nada.
Nada. So, speaking of pain and suffering, cynical, you work in a business that can be very tough. And I'm only meeting you for the first time today, but like most people, adore you immediately. There's something about you that seems grounded in that West Virginia upbringing, in the roots.
Aren't I so lucky?
Yeah, you are lucky to have had that. You are. But I want to understand how you keep focused on that reality. What is it that keeps you hooked in to being, if I understand this correctly, you're the middle Garner girl?
Yes.
Is that who you are?
Yes, I think I always say that more than anything else, I am the middle Garner girl, for sure. I mean, well, I'm still the middle Garner girl. My sisters are still around, and they still have no problem, letting me know.
I have 3 daughters. I know what the middle one's like.
You do? You have 3 daughters. It's a very specific thing. It's like the Beam family. Growing up with 3 girls is very special.
Yeah, and they have a dynamic that I suspect you may share as well.
Yes, yeah. Oh man, I treasure them more every day of my life. I have amazing sisters.
But that's not the norm. People go into show business, and it changes them, not because they want to.
I don't know that it does. I've lived in LA a long time, and I know a lot of really incredible, down-to-earth people. I think, a few people are kind of more into the idea of fame or whatever, but they were like that when they were kids, I'm sure. You kind of go into it, and I don't know, I don't see people changing in some huge way. You are who you are. Maybe it exacerbates whatever quality of you is going to stand out the most, like a burr. It might exacerbate it, but I don't think that it's going to change it. So maybe in me, it's just bringing out my down-to-earthness, so I feel like some earth mother.
Well, you do that well. Let me applaud you for 2 things.
Okay.
The first is you got the table with Halle Berry and others, and pushed for this law that hinders the ability of paparazzi to bother your kids, her kids, and everyone else's kids. Celebrity kids now are more protected. How's that law helped change things for the better? Oh,
we used to have 6 cars outside of our house from 6 a.m. until the end of the day, every day, and on weekends there would be 15 to 20. So I love Halle Berry. We had been told so often that it couldn't be done, and she refused to believe it, and she did push it through, and I was such a small part of it. She did it 100%.
Good for her.
And it has made things better, and it's a shame, because I have a 4-year-old son, and of all my kids, he hates them the most. He hates them, and every time he sees the cameras, which is still every day, and he says, I don't like that. There are 2 things I don't like, Mom. I don't like cameras of men. I don't like men with cameras, and I don't like being laughed at. I don't like if I feel like you're laughing at me. And I say, I can control not laughing at you, although he's so funny. But we have to talk about the fact they can't hurt you. They can't touch you. They're far away. We can't make them go away. We just have to live our lives, son, and do the best we can. And you know what? That is just something he's going to have to grow up with, because if we move to Timbuktu, some fool in Timbuktu is going to buy a camera and follow us around.
Of course.
If they can make a living off of it. So.
All right. Another topic that you work tirelessly behind is Save the Children.
Oh my gosh.
Which I know how passionate you are, so I won't try to tell the story. You tell it. What does it mean to be involved with this great group?
It has really, it's just been such a deep, it's added such deep meaning to my life to get to know the women that Save the Children helps here in the U.S. I work specifically for our U.S. programs. Of course, Save the Children is a huge international organization, and I work specifically in the U.S. for kids growing up in poverty, which is almost 1 in 4 kids in rural America. And I really work specifically more in rural America.
Well, congratulations for doing that. So it's coming up. Jennifer, just take a look at it. You'll know why we're going to do this. She's going to share some of her health secrets, including the single most important thing she uses every single day to keep her skin healthy and glowing. We'll be right back. Next, what keeps Jennifer looking so amazing and youthful? From what she eats to how she exercises, Jennifer reveals all. Plus, the one thing she does to keep her skin looking so flawless. Something you should be also using every day. Next. Cutting carbs, it's key to losing weight. But is it confusing?
No one ever really thinks about the good kind of carbs that are out there.
Plus, the biggest secrets from the biggest losers don't bet quits. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow. Back with the always glowing Jennifer Garner, and I think we can all agree that at age 43, did I get it right?
Almost 44.
She has never looked better. And this is Jennifer at the Oscars just a few weeks ago. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Ooh.
Do you like getting all dolled up for events like that?
Oh my gosh, of course I do. I mean, the clothes are so, I don't even care about clothes, but you can't help it. They're works of art. These beautiful couture dresses that are made for you. It's like, it makes you kind of giddy.
You look wonderful, and that makes us giddy to look at them. Let's talk about your health. I get asked lots of questions.
Really, Dr. Oz?
Yes,
do you?
I do.
That's so?
Unbelievably. And I always try to give answers back, but the best way to answer your question is to talk about someone who's actually done it in their life. That's something that really works. So, what's your diet? What do you typically eat?
I eat a lot of greens. I have a huge garden, and I grow, and I just chop it all up really finely. Kale and arugula and lettuces and broccoli and whatever I have in season. Sugar snap peas. I stick in a big salad with some brown rice and protein.
And have you trained the kids to like what you like to eat?
No. They look at my salad and go, ugh.
You know, it takes more than a dozen exposures to any taste for a kid to like it.
That's what I tell them.
To keep hammering. That's
yeah,
right.
Okay.
And what is your favorite cheat food?
Oh, everything. Cheese and crackers, blue corn chips, hummus. When I say that as a cheat food, I mean because if I start, it's got to be the whole container and the whole bag.
Put it all down.
Any chocolate salty combination, any chocolate caramel combination, kind of beer, wine. All of it.
It's a big answer. Oh my goodness. All right. So the one thing doing my research that I learned about you.
Yes, sir.
Is that there's one thing apparently you always do every single day, no matter what's going on, that can keep her skin healthy and glowing, and it's something that I think you ought to be doing as well. Are you willing to share it with us?
You're never gonna guess.
Come on over. Come on over.
It's a big surprise.
By the way, since you like these flowers, these are yours.
Oh,
I'll carry them over here.
Thanks.
All right. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. You wanna wear the sombrero? Should I wear it? And the answer is.
Ta-da! Oh. As the skincare ambassador for Neutrogena, I have gotten to really know a lot about sunscreen. And it turns out you have to wear it all the time. And you have to just do it as if like brushing your teeth. Before you even think about it, it's got to go on every day, even if it's just for a minute and you think it's cloudy out and I don't need it, just put it on.
Yeah.
Sunscreen.
No matter what. And you wear SPF 45?
Yes, sir.
You don't fool around with 15 or 30?
No.
With the strong stuff?
I just do it. I just don't think about it. I do it, and if I shower and go out and later in the day, I do it again.
I have thoroughly enjoyed having you on.
Thank you.
It is wonderful to meet someone who's not just spiritually healthy, physically healthy, but all around you got it together, and that you are grounded. God bless you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
Because you're a miracle for me. Coming up. The young girl whose real-life health story inspired Jay's new movie, Miracles from Heaven. She'll be right here along with her mom and the rest of her family.
You're gonna love her.
Stick around. Next, meet a girl who beat the odds and is diagnosed with a life-threatening disorder she suffered for years, until one fateful event inexplicably healed her. A true medical mystery you have to see to believe. Next. Annabelle Beam was just 5 years old when she was diagnosed with life-threatening digestive disorders. Her incurable condition forced Annabelle's mother, Christy, and their entire family to spend extensive time in and out of hospitals as they struggled to make Annabelle's life more comfortable. Then another tragedy struck. While playing in their yard, Annabelle fell 30 feet headfirst into the bottom of a hollow cottonwood tree. Yet, after being rushed to the hospital, Annabelle appeared to have only minor injuries. Even more shocking, her family and her doctors soon realized Annabelle's debilitating disorders had miraculously disappeared. Today, Annabelle and her mother open up about the miracle that cured her. Annabelle and her mom, Christy, are here with us today, and I don't want to forget Annabelle's dad, Kevin, and her amazing sisters, Abigail and Adeline, who are also here. All right, so I have so much to talk to you guys about, and there's a part of your story that I think everyone is going to have to deal with, which is the miracle that allowed you to get past this problem. But I do want people to first understand your life-threatening issue. So come on over here. I got a little demonstration. I thought you're 13 now?
Yes.
13-year-olds like demonstrations. So before we talk about your amazing story, I'm going to show everyone, and you can stand right here. I made a little standee for you. I want everyone to understand this painful and life-threatening digestive disorder that you're suffering from, a disorder that takes the lives of young people when they get it oftentimes. So this is the intestinal system. And the intestinal system is made up of a mouth, right then the stomach, and then the intestines go on down here. Now if I could have some little gummy balls, do I have any gummy balls? Here they are, right here. This is food. I thought you and your sisters might enjoy these after the show.
Oh, we get to keep them?
Yes. How many of these can you get in your mouth, do you think? Could you get 5 in your mouth at once?
Probably.
We're gonna find out. All right, so, but for now, what happens when you put these in your mouth is they go through the mouth into the stomach and down through the intestines, and they come out as poop, right? Now you take these, and before I give them to you as a present, I want you to demonstrate what happened in your intestinal system. So this is your mouth. This is your stomach. Now you had something called pseudo-obstruction.
Motility disorder.
Say it one more time for everybody.
Pseudo-obstruction motility disorder.
Right. So I want you to describe when you would eat food, even a gumball or anything else. Go ahead and pour it in there. What would happen? And okay. Right. As you do that. Oop, you spill a couple out. And what ends up happening is you put more and more food in there. We could be sloppy here, right? Is the food starts to get stuck. And when it gets stuck, as much as we try to get it to go down better and better, eventually you end up with a situation where you're completely bloated. And I know that you had a feeding tube in, you had a surgery, hoping there was an obstruction in there. There was 1 year of the 4 years you were suffering from this that you were hospitalized 9 times. That's a lot, guys. And Christy, it took a lot to get the right diagnosis. And I know there are times that you got really angry. You really had to push the doctors hard. What was that like?
You know, it was so frustrating because I felt like I was the only one who got that there was something wrong with my baby girl. And they would misdiagnose and dismiss, and there was this perfect box that they felt like Annabelle needed to fit into, and that box didn't fit her disorder. And it was just so maddening. And I did finally just have to lose it to get them to listen to me.
And when you did lose it, did it work? Did people start looking up and say, you know what? Yeah, we are putting her in a box. That's not where she belongs.
They did, and they ran some tests. They ran the right tests, and they found out that she was actually fully obstructed, completely obstructed, and then that began our journey.
Yeah, I want people to hear that because there's so many lessons from your wonderful tale. That's a big one. You got to stand up for yourself. And a mother's intuition about what's going on, a person's intuition about their own body, can never be put beneath any other idea. It's always got to be top for you. And the fact that you fought at that critical moment saved your daughter's life. I know you know that, but I want everyone else to appreciate that as well. So we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, how Anna's illness mysteriously disappeared, listen carefully, literally disappeared after a serious accident an accident that sent her on a journey to heaven. That's next. Coming up next, Anna's remarkable story continues. What she experienced after her accident and her amazing account of her journey to heaven and what she saw there.
And there was no pain, and that's why I wanted to stay.
If you don't believe in miracles, you may now. Cutting carbs, it's key to losing weight, but is it confusing?
No one ever really thinks about the good kind of carbs that are out there.
Plus, the biggest secrets from the biggest losers don't bet quits. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow. We are back with Anna Beam and her mom, Christy, whose real-life story inspired Jennifer Garner's new movie, Miracles from Heaven. So, this story captivated my whole family's attention, which is hard for me to do because my daughters won't listen to me too much anymore. You're probably at the age where that's starting to happen with you, but I want you to take us back to the pain that you were suffering from. 4 years of unrelenting pain where anything you would do to feed yourself could cause symptoms. Did you ever give up hope?
I did at the very end of our journey. I told my mom that I wanted to die and I wanted to live with, and I wanted to go to heaven and live with Jesus where there is no more pain.
It was that bad that you were willing to leave your family and your sisters?
Well, I had actually thought out a plan. What would happen was I told my mom, my mom said, "Oh, but we would be so sad." And I said, "No, Mommy, you'd kill yourself and come with me, and Daddy would watch the girls."
How did you cope with hearing your beautiful daughter who had so much energy just a few years earlier wanting to take her own life?
And I was devastated when those words came out of her mouth. I truly didn't expect it. Annabelle is a fighter. She was always a fighter. She fought with such grace and with such dignity with a disease, a disorder that can have very little dignity with it. And she was done, and she had thought it through. That's what scared me, is she had a plan. Everybody was going to be okay, but she was just ready to be done and go.
Faith is a big part of your life. You were struggled with your faith, especially hearing the painful, agonizing decision your daughter had made to maybe end her life, maybe to give up. Did you ever think, my goodness, I'm going to lose it completely? How did you struggle with your faith to get it back?
You know, I did. I struggle with, are you going to take her, God? Please don't take her, God. Crying out to God for so many things. You know, I actually came full circle after that night when Annabelle declared that to me in the hospital room, and I crawled in bed with her and we cried together. That's when I officially gave it back to God, and I said, you know, I can't do this anymore. I can't think that I'm in control. I can't think that I can fix this. This is beyond me, and it's overwhelming, and I want you to take it all and you be God over it, and whatever you have planned, I just have to trust that you have a better plan than Annabelle's plan.
Yeah. So, Anna, you're in a bad accident. On top of all this you're suffering from, you get up in that big old tree of yours and you fall down head first 30 feet.
I hit my head 3 times.
And what did you think when you're stuck upside down, head banged, with all these problems with your intestines already, in a situation that most people would have thought you were dead already?
Well, people ask me a lot, what did you think in the tree? I really just kind of sat there. I didn't think much. And I went to heaven while I was in the tree. And I think that's one of the reasons I was so peaceful the whole time.
You went to heaven?
Yes.
And what happened in heaven?
Well, it was very bright and it was very peaceful, and there was no pain in heaven, and that's why I wanted to stay. And I sat on Jesus' lap, and he told me when the firefighters, I asked him if I could stay, and he said, "No, Annabelle, I have plans for you on earth that you cannot complete in heaven. And when the firefighters get you out, there will be nothing wrong with you. But I'm sending a guardian angel with you to light the tree, because by this time it was dark, and I couldn't see, especially inside the tree. So without the guardian angel, I couldn't have seen the rope to help assist in my own rescue."
So you get out of this tree. Obviously, you know, going to heaven is something you tell your parents. Christy, what did you feel?
The first thing I did when she shared it with me, I looked at her, and the first words out of my mouth were, "Really?" And then the next thought was, "How bad did you hit your head, baby?" But then she just continued to speak, and the words that came out of her mouth, the descriptions, the life in her eyes, she had lived it. And I knew without a doubt what she was sharing was true.
Now, the part about as a doctor that I'm really amazed by, not going to heaven itself is sort of amazing, but you have this illness which is incurable. You don't even know what causes it, and then it goes away. And you have just minor injuries, Anna, which, again, you would expect something more significant. What went on in your lives when you realized my daughter is better?
Well, one day turned into another, and she was playing and eating and drinking and full of life. No pain medication anymore. She was on 10 medications when she fell into that tree. We began to wean her with the doctor's assistance off of one medication after another. And today, Annabelle is on 0 medications. We've been to the doctor, and he declared her asymptomatic. And he actually is a guru of this disorder in Boston, Dr. Samuel Nurko, and he says she no longer needs my care. She no longer needs the help of a pediatric gastroenterologist.
Why does he think she got better?
I think it was because whenever he said, when the firefighters get you out, there will be nothing wrong with you, I thought he meant from the fall, but he meant my disease as well.
Mm-hmm. It has been a real blessing to meet you. And you're a wonderful assistant for me on a little demonstration. And then Christy, the whole family, thank you for being here. I've got a little present for you. Would you give it to your sisters?
Yeah.
All right, come on over here. This is it. You all got to do a little competition now. There you go. Take that there and tell them this is a payoff for taking care of you all those years. Miracles from Heaven is in theaters now, and Christy's best-selling book of the same name is also available. You gonna enjoy it? Well, put them in your mouth. I mean, there's no point keeping them there. Are you gonna share them with the audience? Yeah. I don't know. No, she's not so happy. We'll find out if she shares them. We'll be right back. Next, famous around the world, even in other galaxies. My friend William Shatner is here.
I shall now announce what you need to know from the throne of 85.
His real advice for staying active, happy, and healthy, no matter what your age. Today's show is all about getting real, and my next guest is here with his real advice, amazing energy, and his endless sense of humor, all at age 84. He is famous around the world and, frankly, even in other galaxies. Please welcome my good friend, William Shatner. Oh, I love having you here.
No. It's cold outside, so they're clapping to keep their hands warm.
That works too. I hope you
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Look at you with these fancy luggage seats here. It flips up and they can ship you anywhere you want.
I was hoping you'd notice. You like these?
Look at this.
I have been looking forward to your coming here for months. I have penciled the date in when we first talked, and I just love everything about you. But there's so much to share. And let's start off with the most obvious. What is the secret to looking as darn good as you do and being as energetic as you are at age 84?
Well, thank you. There's a lighthearted answer, the horses jumping up and down. But the truth of the matter is, I really don't know. And the truth of the matter is, it's probably genetic. And the truth of the matter is, I'm in violation of many of your laws. and I know that this is designed for me to slide underneath. And now I try to eat as purely as possible. And my wife is a wonderful cook who is able to make the right meals. I'm attracted to flour and sugar, but I try my best to avoid them. Yeah. I exercise a lot. I ride horses competitively a lot. So the stock answer is nutrition and exercise, and you're never too old to learn.
No. See, I think that's actually your secret, having talked to you a fair amount now. No matter what we're talking about, you are intensely curious. And You don't always use that phrase, but basically it comes up over and over again. You're never too old to learn.
That's really, now that you said it in words, that's really the secret. And if you can feel that in your life, that you're here for this brief moment, and you've got to taste all that there is in life.
Come on over here. We'll leave the deck of the Enterprise.
Okay.
We'll come over here. We're going to go through the secrets that Bill has to offer.
I have to turn away from that sign, though, if you don't mind.
Okay, we'll start.
Too much me.
So, secret number one, these are all never too old secrets, is that you're never too old to embrace technology.
That's right. For example, if you go to the public media and find out how to do things, your curiosity can be assuaged.
But you're also engaged in social media, you tweet.
And that social media you can use to go into business. Rather than retire, look at all the things you can do.
All right, come over here. Number two is what I know you're hot on, is that make sure that you realize you're never too old to make love.
Well, what I mean by that is you're never too old to make love to life. You're never too old to have passion. I think it stirs up all the good juices in your body to be passionate.
But also, it literally also, I think, is important to be intimate with each other. Half of all adults over 60 have sex once a month, and half of all adults over 60 want to have more sex. That's sort of obvious, I guess.
Wait a minute. That's really weird.
Now, your wife Liz is here.
My wife Liz is here.
Do you guys stay active?
You mean active sexually?
Yes.
All the time we're rutting like it's spring.
So Liz, what do you do to keep things active at home? Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Thank you, Dr. Oz. I have to tell you, oh my gosh, I am old-fashioned, so I was taught to not kiss and tell, so this is a real coming out for me. But we have one game that I will share.
A game?
A game that we've made for ourselves over the 15 years, and it was to make a passionate connection in every city we went to. So we'll have that memory.
Passionate connection in every city? How many cities have you guys been to?
I've been on tour. I've been on a one-man show tour for 40 cities.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm in the other.
This is biblical.
Once a month, that's 40 months. That's almost 2 years.
It's biblical. Oh, it's more than 3 years.
3 years.
All right, coming up, Bill's most important, number one bit of advice for staying happy and healthy, and it involves Mr. Spock himself. We'll be right back. Coming up next, William Shatner shares more secrets on living life to the fullest at any age. Plus, remembering Leonard Nimoy and the one regret he had about his lifelong friend.
I would have done anything. I would have done anything.
Cutting carbs, it's key to losing weight. But is it confusing?
No one ever really thinks about the good kind of carbs that are out there.
Plus, the biggest secrets from the biggest losers don't bet quits. All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow. We're back with my friend Bill Shatner, who's been giving us real advice for staying happy and healthy no matter your age.
Yeah, but I must inject. I know nothing. Okay?
That's not true, actually.
But actually, it's true. I've hidden it from you, but I know nothing, and nobody knows anything, and advice is really a very strange thing to give.
Yeah. People who have been there have deeper insights than those of us who are trying to get there. And that's why I love having, as an example, addicts on the show to teach about addiction, or people who lost weight to teach about weight loss. People who have lived long, full lives, and I think you epitomize that for all of us. Have things to share that you don't even realize are so precious. I'll give you an example. The most important secret you saved for last, and I think you're right, is the importance of friendships.
Yes.
Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy.
Yes.
Who you met actually before Star Trek, since I'm a big fan.
Neither one of us remember that,
Yes.
but apparently it's.
There's actually a picture proving it.
Right.
But you had a 50-year friendship. How was Leonard a friend to you in ways that made you feel defined?
Well, we shared laughter and we had so much in common. Our backgrounds were the same, our ambitions were the same, our ways of getting to that ambition were very similar. So we had all this together. And I saw a clip of the two of us kidding each other. It felt good to be looking at that clip. And I know how good it felt to be in the clip. So I think you're right, that kind of depth of friendship, and we're not talking about the passion of marriage or anything like that. We're talking about the brotherhood of
humanity.
Of humanity. Good. Without the sex involved, there is a purity to that friendship because you're there because you like being in that person's presence.
This book that you wrote about Leonard, aptly named Leonard, it's about your friendship with him. Beautifully done as everything you do is. And I'd love to just follow up on a few of the things that you bring up.
Please.
I didn't realize that early on you were actually a bit jealous, as you acknowledge, because he was getting a lot of attention when Star Trek first started. A lot of friendships start off when people have a little conflict.
Really?
Something about them teases and pushes buttons on each other.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you should say that, but that was what happened. You know, he got a lot of attention. I'm thinking, well, what's happening here? And you know, go to the producers. Are we okay? I mean, is this? Yeah, don't worry about it. If he's good, you're good. No, you're right. If he's good, I'm good. That's good. I got that. And away we went. You know.
Yeah. And yet, towards the end of his life, he became estranged from you.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out why?
No. And the mystery I'll take to my grave, as he took, I presume took to his grave, is that I don't know why he stopped talking to me. Was it something I did? Was it something I'd done? I would have done anything. I would have done anything to make whatever amends I needed to make for whatever it was that I don't know that I did. Or maybe I didn't do anything. You know, there's the possibility that he was ill gradual. That COPD is got to be, you've seen it in your practice. You're drowning, and finally you're here. You're saying, I can't breathe. A person drowning drowns, and it's over. But here you're drowning, and you live for another months, and you're breathing. What kind of a fate is that?
Let me read this letter, if I can, with your permission. This is a letter that you wrote to Leonard. It's the last words you exchanged. At the end of his life, you're the friend that I have known the longest. Hey, you read it. You wrote it.
No. You do it.
You're the friend that I have known the longest and the deepest. I have missed you terribly and have longed for those dinners we used to have. I told you 50 years ago to give up smoking, but no, you wouldn't listen. Now my advice is to relax and be happy. What regrets do you have about the friendship?
Well, the regret is how it ended, and I have to come to grips with the fact that what a nice, tidy puzzle it would be. Start off with a little fight. We're going to start this movie with a little fighting, and then you guys become real friends, have this thing, and then he dies, and then everybody mourns, and it's clean, and it's nice, and it's simple. But that's not life.
When he passed over, you weren't at the funeral. I happened to be with you that week, a few days afterwards. I know how much it hurt you that there was stinging criticism that you didn't return to his funeral. I would love if you just explain that to everybody.
Well, Donald Trump asked me to come to a Red Cross fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago in Florida.
Yeah.
This was months ago. So I said, yeah, I'd love to. So Liz and I prepare to go to 1,000 people turned up with very important people, very rich people, giving a lot of money. And I've got to assume that part of the reason they were coming was to see me.
Of course.
That the day before, Leonard dies and they have the funeral the next day, like on Sunday. I've got to be in Mar-a-Lago Saturday night. And the decision I made and what I said to those people in the audience, that fame and fortune and our name turns to dust immediately, whether it's a day, a week, or a year. Mm-hmm. It goes, really. But the good deeds, the mitzvah that we do, rumbles, goes like the butterfly effect and stays forever, because the people you help today help somebody else tomorrow and the following day and the following day. And those good deeds are the things that live. Let us remember Leonard, and let us remember Maury Hurley, who died.
As a tribute to your friend, Leonard Nimoy, Bill asked Twitter followers to send photos of themselves doing the tradition Vulcan salute. You remember this? Live long and prosper.
That's incredible. You can do that. Do you operate that way?
That's right, like this. And this, look what he made there. 6,000 individual selfies. All of them make a design. It's an impressive use of Twitter.
It's under examination as a world's record.
For Guinness.
Yeah, for Guinness, yeah. But, you know, these things take on a life of its own. And suddenly it's a memorial to another sort of memorial to Leonard.
Leonard, the book is remarkable. Everything you do, my friend, is.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, for all your wisdom. Live long and prosper. We'll be right back.
Can't zip up those jeans? New ways to beat your belly blow. By tomorrow.
The 5 things you can do starting today.
Plus, women microwaving their armpits. That's coming up Friday on Dr. Oz.
Chances are you have a post-cold and flu ritual, which you should have. You're going to change your pillowcases, disinfect the doorknobs, throw away the last of your tissues, and the cough drop wrappers are hanging around your bed. But there may be a few things that you're forgetting. So tomorrow, you'll be talking about my foolproof guide to what to toss and what to clean. And they're all found in your makeup bag. Let's quiz you about, makeup brushes. This is a tough one. Toss or clean? Clean. They're so smart, the audience. They are so smart. They say clean and they're right. You know, that makeup, the bacteria, the dirt, they live in your makeup brush. They all love it there, but they don't actually recontaminate you, so you don't have to ditch the makeup brush. Better news, though, put them a little bit of apple cider vinegar, soak them in that, and let them air dry. That'll make your brush as good as new no matter what. It's not a bad way of keeping them clean. You can find my entire what to toss and what to keep guide. There it is on DrOz.com. You're going to love it. Print it, like it, share it, spread the word. That's all for today, everybody. We're going to see you next time. Remember, happiness and health start at home.